taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as.
Well, we're finally here. Tonight, the last show before we hit Locked In. And I am certainly locked in to give you 6 big bouts, 2 of which will qualify our final stars to the live event, as well as a very interesting main event tonight as well. So strap on in, grab your boom pillars, and let's head into tonight's action. Well, Daytona Beach, Florida. Welcome to Breakdown. And we're kicking it off in a fantabulous means as Prince Pretty hits the stage.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from seasonal residencies, weighing in at 212 pounds, Tyler Breeze.
And we are getting into Breakdown with some interesting action. Tyler Breeze, a name that's not been seen or said a lot here in IPW, but tonight he gets his chance with his selfie stick and the camera, showcasing his gorgeous looks. Let's see if that gorgeousness being top tier translates well to his wrestling pedigree here tonight, as he kicks off tonight's episode in singles action. Well, his opponent, I feel, brings a similar sort of attitude. Not necessarily the prettiness aspect of it, but the hard, high-flying, and highly anticipated style. As we welcome the Bull to the arena. Vikingo versus Breeze to kick off the night, and it is going to be an interesting one. You've got 2 very agile stars going up against one another, and I have a feeling it's going to be more a technical display of wrestling, as both men want to really land their killer shots. Vikingo with the big bullhorns, war mask, he looks ready to go to war here. Well, as ever, Prince Pretty perches atop of the turnbuckles. And here we go. Both missing their opening shots, but it's going to be Tyler Breeze to connect with the dropkick to start the action off. Referee Big Man Gregory watching on as El Hijo del Vikingo gets now on the offensive. Boots connecting here onto Breeze. And yeah, it's been a while since we've seen both stars really here in IPW. But with the massive roster shifts, especially here on Breakdown, there's more chances, I feel, for this roster. IPW, like, management that sits above the GMs was doing a little bit of counting as to the sizes of each roster, and surprisingly, Breakdown and Primetime still sit fairly even in terms of sizes, as that is a massive corkscrew arm drag takedown there from El Hijo del Vikingo. But they sit very similar in terms of sizes due to rosters. Underground, however, it's like a full 40 stars less than both Primetime and Breakdown. And to me, that's pretty interesting. It means that there's now more stars getting a chance to shine, per se. But, like, it just means that all the original star power is more spread out, and we get bouts like this as a nice running Meteora from Vikingo connects after the tornado kick. But a count of 8 here. Big Man Gregory issues the 9. Vikingo's taunting. Breeze, will he make it back in? The answer is yes. He stops Vikingo's taunting, his gloating. And now, Prince Pretty on the offensive. Got to from behind from Vikingo. Springboards in. Nice! Tornado DDT on the money. And now the cover. 1, 2. Breeze able to kick out, staying alive in this affair. But that seems to have just riled up Vikingo, who's getting cocky, stomping onto the chest. Vikingo's not done. He ascends to the heavens. Woo! Shooting star press! Connects, and somehow we're not done. Breeze kicks out, but how much fight he's got left in him, I don't know. It is probably nigh on nothing as Vikingo tries for the super kick, not going to be able to connect. Instead, Breeze now can't connect either. Vikingo trying to scoop up Breeze, but no, Breeze puts the brakes on and then fires off a drop kick. Vikingo back against the corner. Now facing it, flies and fails. Breeze now targeting the knee joint. It's pretty, probably is looking for that beauty shot, but Vikingo not giving him that chance. Instead, off the ropes, charging through, tries to snap over the top, but no. Thought for a second we were getting to double knees again to Meteora, but that's not the case. Instead, it's a neck breaker. Breeze put down in pain and agony. Vikingo's going to make him pay. Springboard's out this time. Finds his mark with the Hurricane Rana. Stalling dropkick there from Vikingo, who it has really been all his game through this stage of the bout. Breeze not really been able to find his bread and butter, his big time shots. But this is a little cocky. Pushing away Vikingo. Garnered him some control now. Irish whip from Breeze. Soup on the button. Count of 7. Vikingo might struggle to break the 10 count. Oh, I tell a lie. He's in at 8. But he is in trouble. Belly to back suplex. Breeze in control. And Tyler taking back control for a little kill switch. 1, 2, nearly the 3. And now Prince Pretty's looking for it. A little taste of the beauty shot, but no. Vikingo evade. Vikingo punishes with a DDT. Breeze in the drop zone. Vikingo up top. 450 splash. Connecting for the cover as well and the win. It's simple. Avoid the beauty shot. Hit him with a 450. And that's how you get the job done. We saw some elegant, elevated offense. That moon shooting star press finding its mark. But not the 3. And then Breeze had his moment. The kill switch. Almost got the 3, but no. When you go for the beauty shot, you need to hit it. Vikingo evades and punishes with that 450 splash.
Here is your winner, El Hijo del Vikingo.
Well, we are only one bout into tonight's action, and already we're hitting some high notes. Let's see if our next bout can deliver the same tempo, the same awesome offense. Well, the war horns are sounding once more, and we're continuing that Viking theme as Viking Express, as they were formerly known, takes to the arena as we let the war raid begin.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 597 pounds, Ivar and Eric, the War Raiders.
Well, we are building towards Fearless, and Breakdown are testing their tag teams, putting them through a gauntlet as such. Last week we saw the Raiders taking on G.O.D. and well, they got the better of the Gorillas of Destiny. Tonight, a massive step up in competition as they have to go up against the former tag champs. Arguably the greatest team in IPW history.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 603 pounds, Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys.
But there are some teams that I'd say are probably close in the rankings to Devon and Bubba, the Usos, to name one. Gallus to name another, and yes, I do mean Gallus, the Joe and Mark Coffey variation. If you missed the early days of IPW, where were you, firstly? And secondly, go check them out. You will see some craziness involving Gallus 3D and the Usos. But for now, it's all about the present. Can the War Raiders overcome Team 3D? Well, it's Ivar to start against Bubba. Big man Gregathy gets us underway, and it's an immediate Irish whip and an immediate tag out. Devon now legal as the Dudleys off the ropes launch into headbutts in stereo. Ivar caught now. Eats a back elbow, busted open as well. There's the power game of Team 3D. As Devon getting to work early. It's interesting that the War Raiders are starting in this formation. Last time out, it was Eric that kicked off the bout for the War Raiders. I would say they're more so standard starter. But maybe feeling the pressure of this bout, Ivar starts. It does mean that Eric can come in, be a bit more explosive. That being said, last time out, Ivar was the more prolific of the two, delivering some heavier shots and basically won the match for the team. Half and half there. As Ivar's caught now, rolled up here by Devon, and it's going to be a quick kick out for the War Raider. He may be looking to fly here. Grabbing a hold of that top rope, but Devon quickly on him. Does not allow that to happen, and instead gives him a flight through a flapjack. Bubba, misses the headbutt. Eric gets to tag in. And the two fresh stars now do battle, and Eric's getting the better of Bubba. Bubba turning it around into a Uranagi. And he catches him again. This time it's standing STO. Bubba doing his work. Continuing to punish. He may be looking to bust open Eric as well. Team 3D. As a unit in IPW, so many tag team title reigns. They always seem to find themselves atop of this tag team division, regardless of what brand they are on. And here on a breakdown, obviously, with how the tag team division works, roster switching can happen because of how it is essentially set. Now, certain teams do have their own permanent homes. I'd say Queen's Quest. Now, Primetime, Fatal Influence, Breakdown. Other teams now in the underground. But as a whole sort of ordeal, you realistically could see a draft happen. Like, Team 3D, I would say, are one of the only teams that were really homeless. Or they had 3 homes, but no true living accommodation for months on end. Finally, they've settled down here on Breakdown, and in their first matchup on the brand, after losing the tag belts, you gotta feel that they need to put on a heavy performance here. They want that title shot you get for winning at Fearless. And could you imagine we get the rematch for the titles once again? The Outlaws versus Team 3D. But don't forget, there are 2 other brands in the matchup for that #1 contendership. Primetime currently, it's the Motor City Machine Guns that are looking the best to be their reps. I do know that Eve Torres has scheduled the quote-unquote #1 contender bout from the Primetime side for this week's, or the upcoming episode of Primetime. It will be the Guns versus the Usos. And for me, a completely different face at the top of the tag team division could be nice. We could get Guns versus Billy Gunn as the Outlaws take on Motor City. That could be a great bout to happen after Fearless. But yet, this bout obviously will determine who will represent Breakdown at Fearless. So we'll know part of the matchup this weekend. Well, for the following weekend. But yeah, questions will be asked. Who will represent Underground? There are a few teams now finding their footing down there. You've got the Hardys, who lost in their debut to Peter Dunn and Tyler Bate, New Catch Republic, which does surprise me overall as the spinning heel kick comes through from Ivar. He's not done. He's keeping momentum flowing. Bubba fights out the corner, though. The momentum will now be stagnated. And a nice drop down there. Bubba into the cover. 1, 2. Ivar able to kick out. And from my perspective, Bubba may need to get a tag out here. He's been in the match for quite some time. Launched off the ropes. Ivar charges through DDT, and he's going to get some revenge. Not onto Devon, but instead he's busted open Bubba Ray. Irish whip now to follow it. Bubba into the War Raiders territory, and he's able to fight out of it. Staves off a potential finish to this match. Snake Eyes on the dot, and the cover comes through. Bubba going for the win. 2. No. Well, comparative to last week's matchup, we're getting more of a battle here between these two lineups. Devon fired up. Ready to go. Sends Ivar running into the corner. Tag made. Whip comes through for a little Dudley death drop. 3D finds the mark and the cover here, but Eric's in. And Eric stops the count by just brushing through the referee. No count off of the big finish. But Team 3D don't care. How about a second, babe? 3D! On the money. The taunting's coming through. Eric's just standing watching as Ivar able to kick out. Stays alive in this do or die battle. Call it a title eliminator. That's basically what it is. The punch caught. Eric staggered. Put in the corner. Now Bubba has the opportunity to punish. Sends Ivar for a run. Oh, Ivar sends him for a run, I should say. Now charging in, Ivar tries to pounce, but no. Bubba instead now in control. Samoan drop from him. Ivar backs it up in the corner into the Yambag Yahtzees. And smartly, he's going to tag out. Realizes, hey, I've just eaten 2 3Ds. I need to get out of Dodge. Get out there quick and bring in the powerhouse. Eric destroying Bubba here. Continues to stomp away at him. Up and over, cattle mutilation from Eric. Not what I typically would see from him, but he does execute it well, and now executes a lethal short arm clothesline. Bubba battling back to his feet though, and well, it's a good battle. As Eric, bang! Shot on the money, and he's looking for another. Bang! Cover here for Eric. One. And hello, Devon. Keeps the bout alive. Dodge from Bubba. He is really looking to build some momentum here. Realizing that, well, it is Eric in control now. He will catch the boot. Gets back to his feet. Sweeps out the leg as well. And this is good for Team 3D as the Dudleys back on the offensive. Samoan drop from Bubba, and he's getting out and dodge. He ate a big knee, a big shot, and now Devon can come in and pick up the pieces. Irish whip, Eric sent running, a drop down leapfrog, and well, a big, nice leg lariat. Dropping Eric for the second. Spine buster out from Devon as well. Right on the money, he's set to fly, tries to launch a shoulder tackle, Eric avoids. Now unloads some heavy shots to the body. Now hooks up, but back dropped, punished. And oh, Eric's busted open. Maintaining control. Sends him crashing into the ring post. Count of 7. Make it 8. Big man Gregathy getting up to the high digits. We're almost at the 10. Make it a 9 right now. Eric's to his feet, but it's too slow. And the Dudleys get a decisive victory here over the War Raiders. That leads me to believe we're getting Team 3D versus Motor City Machine Guns or the Usos versus whatever Underground can muster up. Yeah, from my perspective, what a good bout this was. 3D hit the 3D twice. Eric had a big opportunity here to put him away. Bang! The gunshot knee. And that forced desperation mode out from Team 3D, who then launched the attack on the outside, got themselves the count-out win. And now we sit here ready to go for Fearless. One bout down. Another takes its place. We've got women's action next. Well, the women's division is bringing some heat.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing No Quarter Catch Crew from Dallas, Texas, Ren Sinclair.
In the form of the WWE Speed Champion. She's fast as F-Boy, it's Ren Sinclair. Set to go one-on-one here tonight. Sinclair, a technical wrestling grappler. So good with those hands, and obviously very good with her feet. I don't know where I'm going with that point, but either way, she's in for a hard battle here tonight. Up against the Showdown Teal Division standout.
And her opponent from Monterrey, Mexico, Flammer.
Winner of that Teal League, advancing to the semi-finals automatically. Sure, she fell short, but she was in a difficult position going up against the inevitable winner of the entire tournament. But now, her first match out of the tournament, she gets, I would say, not necessarily an easy one, a gimme, but it's still about that you'd expect her to win. And as we watch the entrance, I believe she's not come out alone, backed up by Lady Herder. The Toxicas are hitting IPW on breakdown. And well, they're tying up to start things up as Ren Sinclair gets her technical wrestling escapades off to good use. Early cover here, schoolgirl pin. Flammer able to kick out, and well, that's sort of her style here. Flammer's been very good in the tournament setting, utilizing that wheelbarrow stomp to great effect. But I would say a lot of her competition, not like Ren Sinclair. It was probably the closest was Charlotte Flair in terms of technical wrestling escapades, but Ren, a pure technical style. Flair has developed a bit more into the power game, or the knockout game, I should say, with the natural selection as, oh, a stiff code breaker. Flammer catching Sinclair there on the, well, in a situation she didn't expect to be in. Flammer mounting punches as well. And this is that style of Flammer we love. It's that crafty, that very creative offense. She tries for the forearm smash to the back. Not going to be able to connect it. He does block Ren's offense. And now, could have put Sinclair in the corner. Not going to happen. Side Russian leg sweep out from Sinclair. And well, she catches her as well. German suplex on the money. Ren has really shone in a few appearances here and there, but we're going back to that previous point that I was talking about earlier in the night, how the brands have certainly been elevated with the addition of Underground. A new platform, obviously, to showcase the talent. And the likes of Flammer, I feel, wouldn't have made it into that tournament if she didn't shine on primetime. Now she's getting to be a mainstay name here on Breakdown. And, well, there's certainly some championships that are in her sight. It could be the Sapphire belt or the Ruby belt. But I've got a feeling there may be tag team gold in the eyes of Lady Flammer. With the fact that Lady Herdy is here, it could be good as we're getting to see my favorite move in IPW. A little fish food into that yam bag area. Flammer connecting with the dropkick in the corner as well. 1, 2, 3. Job done. All that needed to happen was the fish needed feeding. And Flammer certainly did that. As we see this maneuver, Ren pushes her off but cannot launch, and then Flammer takes to the legs out, and then bang. Double knees to the skull. Now we're seeing that ending after the fish food, the drop kick into the face, and the cover comes through for the 3.
Here is your winner, Flammer.
Well, she keeps up that dominant streak from the showdown. Can she translate that into championship success? Here on Breakdown, we'll have to see, but for now, we're shifting over to the women's tag division. We need a fearless tag team from Breakdown. Well, there was only ever going to be 2 teams in the hunt on Breakdown for the women's spot at Fearless. The first of which is the Kabuki Warriors.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors.
The Japanese duo. Ringers of mischief and mayhem. Realistically have found success here in 2026. More specifically, Asuka, former Women's World Television Champion. And it's interesting. This matchup's coming into play because I've got a feeling Asuka's feud with the former now Women's World Television Champion may be reignited here on Breakdown. With the fact that this match is coming to play right in front of our eyes. Because as you hear it, you sense the change in attitude. The party's over for the Kabuki Warriors. Because Fatal Influence, they want their titles back. They want the shot. They're gonna try and get it by beating Asuka and Kairi.
And their opponents, Jasmine Nix and JCJ, Fatal Influence.
These two's first running out here on Breakdown, their new home. And you look at these two. 2-time Women's Tag Team Champions. They had a phenomenal first run with the belts, the inaugural champs. And then their second run cut short by hate. And the belts all went over to Queen's Quest. On that same, well, not fateful night, it was obviously on break time that Hate won the belts prior to the showdown. Now tonight, these two teams battle for a chance at a shot at a World Tag Team Championship. We start things off. Nix off of the ropes, connecting onto Kairi. Tag made. JC now legal. Fatal Influence as a unit have been potent as a whole on Primetime. They dismantled the women's divisions there. Now coming over here, one of the championships that I feel has eluded them was the mid-card title. And you look at the lineup of stars that Fatal Influence have had in there. You've had Lainey Reed, Kiana James. JC Jane at one point was hunting for it before the women's tag belts became a thing. But now they've got a chance as Nix pop up into the gut kick. Lush onto the chest of Sane. Whip going to be reversed this time, and Kyrie going to punish. These two obviously starting the match off, and they're continuing this matchup at this point. They're fairly fresh, but you've got to feel that an early cover could upset the flow as Kyrie gets a 2 count here over Nix. And now the Kabuki Warriors can start their job. Tag made. Oscar comes into the picture. Waiting, knees up. Nix sent into them, and Oscar's not able to capitalize. Instead, drop with a back elbow here by Jasmine. Another tag made. In comes JC. She's looking to pick up the pieces with a flapjack. The Rockstar looking to pick up a victory here on Breakdown. And as a tag team, while Fatal Influence were able to travel between brands, they didn't spend too much time here on Breakdown, when realistically they could have. There were some great teams back in the day here on this brand, as right now I'm starting to worry about that count up to 6. JC not even looking to get back in the ring. Instead, she's sent into the steps. Oscar is the one entering. Count of 9. JC nowhere near and breaks it before our referee Big Kim. Her hands were going up for that 10, but that's safety. JC escapes the danger. Tag made as well. Snapmare takedown into stereo super kicks. Nix tries to drop the elbow to stop the tag out, but in comes Kyrie. Springboard moonsault misses its target. Nix sent running as well. Kyrie back to her feet quick, and now looking to keep the momentum going, but the spear caught. Nix evades the danger. More than evade, she could look to put an end to this. Kick caught though. Kyrie puts her in the corner, charges in, tries to land the forward smash, but not going to connect. Instead, it's Nix. Caught again. Kyrie sent her to her corner. And this is... well, Kabuki Warriors trying to find the mark. But the jostling for position keeps on happening. Nix keeps fighting out of the corner. This time scoops up Kyrie to get out of it and tosses her away. Cover here for Jasmine. And it's a quick kick out by Sane. Nix hooks up Kyrie. Fisherman suplex with the bridge, but no cover. Instead, looking for a little more. Kyrie catches a wheelbarrow through, bridging into the cover. She's got it, but Nix just scrambles out of the position. Plum shot to the face. Nix keeping the pressure, but cannot keep it on for long enough. Kyrie fights out the corner, tries for the crossbody, caught, and going to be punished into the side of the knee of Nix, who comes through. Des Prez, mounted punches, connecting to the face of Kyrie Sane. Jasmine keeps on going, but the whip reversed. JC watching on as her partner pummeled right in front of her. Again, the boot blocked. Nix staying alive. Kyrie catching her. Scoops her up. Alabama slammer. Into the cover goes Kyrie. And into the ring comes JC to break it up. Crisis averted for Fatal Influence's roll up here. They've caught Kyrie. Nix trying for the win desperately. But it's only a 2. I say only. It's like Very close to that win, but that's a spear. Launched into Jasmine Nix by Kairi Sane. Flush on the target. Nix though. Nix kick. Dangerous Nix kick. Finds the target after that little jockey for position. JC now brought into the ring. Jane, she's just going to look to capitalize on her compatriot's work. Goes for the cover, forces Asuka into the ring to break it up. But look at JC. Shot after shot connecting. The big one lined up, and it's a big knee, but no. Kairi evades. And evades with a scorpion death drop. No, it's more of a showstopper. Sane. Fireman's carry. Rolling through. Green Bay plunge. She's doing good here, but she's caught. Trying to escape. Trying to bring in Asuka, but now she's able to do it. JC has just leveled the playing field. Asuka, though, sends for the whip. The spinning heel kick not going to connect. Instead, it's JC unloading. Shot after shot finds its mark, but Asuka, signature drop kick out the corner. It connects and hits different. And that's why she's going for the cover here. Quick kick out from JC. Stays alive. But Asuka, she's going to stomp her way into this matchup and make sure JC knows that she is not picking up this dub that easily. Kairi re-enters the fray and re-enters with a neck breaker thrown her way. Tag made. JC out, Jasmine in, and Kairi into the face of Nix with a forearm smash that busts her open. Nix tries for the spinning European uppercut, and Asuka, she just brushes it aside and then fires off a code breaker. Cover here for the Kabuki Warriors to get the job done. And JC realizes that's enough. She needs to get in to break it up. Asuka, she's allowed Kairi to suffer, to absorb the pain, the punishment that Fatal Influence can dish out. And now she enters the ring. She enters with control, with strength and power. And she's bringing it to Jasmine Nix. Punch caught. She fires one off. Enters the ring. Hooks the arm. Rope trapped armbar. The referee not stepping in to break it up, even though that should happen. And Asuka climbs. She ascends. Launches the elbow into the spine of Nix. The cover comes through. 1, 2. Jasmine kicks out. You have to feel Asuka at this stage. She's got her right where she wants her. Snapmare takedown. Bang. Tornado kick. Right on the money. And the money means that we get maybe a little flying Kairi. The senton misses. And Nick's gonna punish with a neck breaker. A mistake maybe from the Empress of Tomorrow, bringing Sane back into the ring. Maybe it's a ruse. Maybe it's Kairi wanting to dish out punishment to JC. He sends her running. JC, though, catches her. Irish whip. Fatal Influence looking to punish, looking to get out of there. As Kairi, crucifix, rolls through a couple times, make it 3. How about a 4th, babe? And this one ends with a cover. Referee disorientated by it. Didn't realize it was a cover attempt. Sane now, though, lining up the target. Charges in. The boots connect in the corner. She lands flush. You whip, though, reversed. And JC Not going to punish either. Instead, Sane charges in, launches herself into another missed opportunity, and now JC returns the favor. Wheelbarrow. Stunner. Out from Kyrie. Sane. Pushing the tempo. Like she needs to. You really do need to keep Fatal Influence at bay. Tree of Joey Lawrence fought out of there by JC. Caught though. Alabama slam. Kyrie puts her down for the second. And then brings her up. But the whip's reversed. JC now caught in the corner. She said running into a spear attempt, but the knee comes up. And the knee just stops all advancement from Kyrie. The cover here now for Jane onto Sane. Good for 2. And the win. Fatal Influence get the job done. Oscar forced to watch as Kyrie loses it really for them. Oscar was pretty fresh, didn't absorb much punishment. Sane did dish out a lot, but in that same vein, she ate most of the big shots. This Knicks kick, she ate the fisherman's suplex, she ate the big knee attempt from JC, and that was too much.
Here are your winners, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Fatal Influence.
With this dub, it means they're going to Fearless to represent Breakdown. Will they get their title shot once again? Well, we've heard this theme quite a lot, but no wrestling done with it. Just interference.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day. From Rio Grande Valley, Texas, Raquel Rodriguez.
Now she must prove that all her interference isn't for nothing. It's worthwhile. I've been told that it's not going to be an easy bout for Mamacita Raquel Rodriguez. Oh no, sorry. Because it's a brand new day today, and her opponent finds herself on a new island, a new home, potentially as captain of the Breakdown women's team. That's right.
And her opponent, accompanied by Kiana James, representing Fatal Influence from Chelsea, Michigan, Fallon Henley.
Backed up by Kiana. Fallon launching a Breakdown career. Last week, a little stare down with the champ after her bout against Jordan Grace. Tonight, Fallon in her first matchup on Breakdown in forever. Remember, this is the woman that her team put down the breakdown roster last year and gave brand supremacy over to Primetime. Now, she represents breakdown. She represents everything she destroyed last year. And you've got to feel, immediately she's going straight after the prize, the top championship. That's why she interfered after the champ versus champ bout last night. Well, last week, I should say. It's Henley starting off this matchup well against Raquel. Working the arm, and from what I remember, it was during a matchup in the Road to the Showdown that Raquel Rodriguez interfered against Fallon and almost cost Henley the matchup. And thus we got to this point now where a little bit of revenge could be on the horizon for Fallon. There's a kick out early into this matchup before the one even is coming through. Blocking the punches now is Henley as well as Raquel. You got to give credit where credit's due, and you're able to battle well against Henley. You are in a top sort of position in any division you're in. Fallon, you may be wondering why I'm bigging her up so much. Here in IPW, she is the longest reigning champion in the history of this entire roster. Over a year in length, close to a year and a half. Obviously, Will Ospreay, he could overtake that record in like 3 months' time. Well, it was a year and 2 months, actually, I should say, that Fallon... No, I'm wrong. It's over a year, and she lost the championship to Oscar over a month ago now, so a year and a half. Sorry, yeah, it would have been a year and a half that Fallon held the belt. Raquel having to deal with the most accomplished star that IPW has seen here tonight. And, well, she's not doing well as the pump handle locked in and the toss comes through. A count of 8 here. Fallon into the ring at 9. And Raquel's down. So there's a count-out win. It's not the most sexy win that a star can get, but count-out is a W regardless. The pump handle slam, the only replay you're going to get of heavy offense.
Here is your winner, Fallon Henley.
So everything works as planned here for Fatal Influence. 2 wins on the night. But now, we shift away from Fatal to Carnage as it's champ versus champ in the men's division. Well, it's not usually Drew McIntyre entering first.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Pure Wrestling Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
He's come accustomed to being out in that champion spot, but tonight, because of the pedigree of matchup we have in front of us, McIntyre has to enter first the mid-card champion, apart from one blunder against the Sandman, has looked phenomenal as the Amethyst champion. A two-time Amethyst champion at that. And he looks like he is probably favorite to win this bout as well. Up against the current Emerald champion, who has not looked his best in comparison to McIntyre. Drew, finalist during that road to the showdown, falling just short to the American Nightmare in that 3 stages of hell match that went only to 2 falls. McIntyre down and out on the second. But for Ospreay, he was done and dusted night 1 of the showdown. Now,
And his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 191 pounds, the prestigious World Champion, Will O'Spivey!
now he needs to show why he is the top dog here on Breakdown. Why he has held that belt firm for over a year. And a month at that. No one has really been able to match Ospreay in his craft. He has grown phenomenally as champion. But will the growth be outweighed by the experience? The crowd certainly thinks so. As we get underway, and it's Ospreay quick out the gates in your main event. 2 step-up enziguris, both hitting, but McIntyre did not fall on the second time of asking. Instead, he staggered about and now garners waist control. Ospreay needs to get out of it and will do so. Snapmare takedown into the side headlock. Just mounting pressure. Wrenching back on it. Using an elevated base to crank the neck. McIntyre does well. He breaks the clasp around his neck that could have led to a sleeper. Bites Ospreay off to his arm and then throws a few punches to get to his feet. Ospreay quick though to get back on the offensive. A quick pin attempt, and now a second tie-up. This one going to result in McIntyre overpowering the Emerald Champion. The second one is a side headlock garnered, but broken. Ospreay into the wrist control, but McIntyre, he gets into his own arm and wrist joint control. Snapmare takedown from the Scottish Warrior. He's getting a little bit of a revenge side headlock of his own onto Ospreay. Little wrench and then a knee to the back. He is controlling the champ, but he cannot control the high-flying offense. McIntyre dropped from the forearm smash from Ospreay. We know McIntyre has a very angry sort of streak. That very bitter pill that he sometimes doesn't swallow. He just spits in your face. And he uses it to his advantage a lot of the time. As right now he needs to really deal with Ospreay. A Glasgow kiss puts down the champion for a cover. And only a 2. Boot caught as well. Ospreay tried to get to his feet, but he puts down McIntyre. The champions jostling, jockeying for that position. The neck breaker gives McIntyre set control, and a Claymore attempt. Ooh, not going to connect. Champ versus champ in your main event, and well, we saw on Tuesday night on primetime that, well, it really doesn't matter who you are. The top champions have been picking up the wins as a lethal hidden blade on the money from Ospreay. Cover good for the 2, and that's a kick out garnered against Drew. Yeah, as I was saying, it's the top champions that have been picking up the wins in these champ versus champion affairs to build up to Fearless. As Ospreay, coup de grace on the money. The stomp through the chest and the heart of the Scottish Warrior. And now he unloads some stiff shots. The combo ending with a backdrop from McIntyre. Drew ascends. Up top, looking to fly. Maybe to crown Ospreay. That it is, as the chop across the head. The sword on the point of the temple. Yeah, just to run through these champ versus champion bouts, how they have turned out. We saw Vakir losing to Utami last week, or 2 weeks ago on primetime. As Ospreay, Oscutter hits the point blank kill shot, and he's not done. He ascends up top, turns around, spiraling into the tap. Cover for the aerial assassin, but somehow McIntyre kicks out. But as I was saying, Ospreay looking to follow in the footsteps of obviously Utami Hayashishita. Charlotte Flair also in that sort of grouping of people beating the champs, their lower champs. We then saw Psycho Clown losing to Kazuchika Okada on Tuesday. This is the second men's champion versus champion bout. Ospreay versus Drew. On Underground this week, we will be seeing Roxanne, the newly crowned Underground champion, battling Julia. As a Glasgow kiss attempted by McIntyre, he fails to connect. Instead looks for the Claymore but falls short. Ospreay evades the danger and he ascends up top, looking to punish. Leaping forearm smash connects. Drew could not stop it, and the cover comes through for Ospreay. Oh, a kick out forced. McIntyre staying alive. For how much longer can he battle? Clothesline from Ospreay. Make it a second. Boot caught, leg trip. Bang, down goes Drew. And the aerial assassin might be going to his comfort zone. Sky Twister, but the knees. Drew puts them up. Ospreay eats them into his lungs. And McIntyre back in control. Bang! Kick to the gut. Puts down Ospreay, but a roll up. The aerial assassin trying to steal it all. 2, 3. The steal from Ospreay. But I would say it's the right result regardless. The aerial assassin, he had his way with Drew in the second half. But McIntyre did not falter. He did not quit. He was closing in on victory, but he just could not do it. And Ospreay, he goaded him in, caught him in the small package. And then it's the simple 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Will O'Spivey.
Well, another top champion showing why they are the top dog of their brand. Thank you for joining me here on Breakdown. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. And I will see you this weekend for IPW Underground. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big